Oh my gosh, look at all that physical crud. Oh my god, that's so gross.
Eat it.
How's it going, everybody? My name's Connor. Welcome back to Second Gear Smiles, and today I'm going to be showing you how to do a coolant change on a 1990 Ford Mustang. I'm going to apologize in advance if you hear the leaf blower in the background. My neighbor is doing some Sunday yard work. Now, the reason we're doing this is because I live here in Virginia, and the majority of the coolant in this car was actually distilled water. And once the temperature gets below freezing, that's going to be a bad time. So we're going to be using coolant that's 50% coolant and 50% water. In this case, the Prestone stuff comes already pre-mixed. This is everything you're going to need to do a coolant flush on your car. Stuff to catch the old coolant with, some basic hand tools, the right amount and kind of your coolant. For the Mustang, I'm using Prestone 50/50 pre-mixed. To find the right kind and the amount, check your owner's manual. And of course, shop towels. And even though this is a 1990 Ford Mustang, the steps are going to be almost identical for any car with a liquid-cooled internal combustion engine. All right, we got everything we need. Let's go ahead and get the car up into the air. The last thing you want to do when you get your car up onto jack stands or onto ramps, you want to give it a good shake. And it should be as solid as if it's on the ground, and that's good to go. Next, we're gonna go under the hood and get started on this coolant change. A quick orientation of the engine when it comes to changing your coolant. You got the radiator right here, you got your radiator cap right here, fan shroud along with fan, and your coolant overflow / expansion tank on this car is going to be right here. And then lastly, for the top of the engine compartment, your upper radiator hose is right here. And this leads down into your thermostat. Now, a big safety point is making sure that you do this when the engine is cool. Now, if you just drove the car up onto ramps, that's fine, but you don't want to be driving this while the engine is hot or up to operating temperature. If you open up this radiator cap while it's hot, radiator fluid is going to be gushing out all over the place, and you run the risk of burning yourself. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go under the car and start draining the coolant. Starting from the top of the engine compartment, coming down under the car. Now this is the passenger side bottom right corner of the radiator. And as you see here, this is the petcock for this radiator. And I can already tell this is going to make a mess. Now go get something to protect your driveway or garage floor. Get your catch can. And I have an extra bucket just in case. Take some pliers and try not to break this. Oh, there we go. This cross member is a little bit in the way, but okay, there we go. Now it's loose. Let me see if I can get this out with my hands. There we go. Oh, it's already leaking. All right, so right now it's actually leaking out kind of slow. Since the coolant has kind of a long way to fall, it's actually kind of making a mess. So I'm actually gonna use this taller bucket. And an easy way to make this drain out faster is to open up the radiator cap. I'm going to replace this at some point when I do a complete revamp of the cooling system, but for right now, this is going to work just fine, but you can definitely see some of the orange and corrosion that's been, that this car has been dealing with. I don't know if you can see this, but because of the surface tension, because this cross member is in the way of the petcock, it's actually, the coolant is actually running down the cross member and dripping out right there. So it's a good thing I got 2 buckets. It's also a good thing that I put something down on the garage floor. You definitely want to clean this up as quickly as possible because this stuff is poisonous to animals and you just don't want to leave a mess around. You can see how brown and gross this fluid is. Make sure not to lose this. Again, as you can see, this is only plastic, so when you're taking this off, make sure you're careful. Now that the fluid is done dripping, we're gonna go ahead and put this petcock back in the radiator. Just like with an oil filter, you wanna make sure you start it by hand and make sure this goes on straight and clean. You don't wanna cross thread this. Remember, this is just plastic. All right, that's on nice and snug. Now the next thing I'm gonna do isn't required for every time we do a coolant flush, but this Mustang's expansion tank is completely gross. You can see down there that it is full of rust deposits and just overall nastiness. So we're gonna remove this and try and get this thing as clean as possible. At some point, I'll replace it. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna disconnect this coolant sensor, and it just lifts off like that. Try to be gentle with it. This is 35-year-old plastic. We're gonna set that aside. The next thing we're gonna do to remove this expansion tank is to remove this fill line, which is right here. So I'm not able to get this off by hand, so I'm gonna get some tools. So I picked up this hook and pick set off of Amazon for about 30 bucks. And this is really useful for a whole bunch of different things. When you're sliding the pick in, do your best not to force it and try not to puncture the hose, because at that point you're gonna have to replace the hose. I'm just gently sliding this around so the friction on the hose and the little spigot loosens up. Oh, it's moving. It's moving. There we go. Look at that. And again, you want to be gentle with this. You don't want to break this nipple and you don't want to break this hose either. Just to make sure nothing falls into the radiator, I'm going to go ahead and replace the radiator cap until we're ready to put the coolant back in. Now this expansion tank is held in by two 8mm bolts. The first one is right at the top right here, but the second one is, you can see how it curves down. There's a gap right here. And the bolt is right in there. So I'm gonna get my ratchet and an extension and we'll go ahead and get this out. Pro tip, these magnetic bowls are awesome. And it's super tight down where the second bolt is, so I switched up to this smaller extension. You're gonna have to do this by feel unless you remove a bunch of stuff from the engine, which I'm not willing to do. All right, got that second bolt out. I believe that's all of them. All right, now that those two bolts are done, we can pull out our expansion tank. Okay, so unfortunately I discovered that this top part of the expansion tank is broken. I'm gonna be reusing this. At some point in the future, I will get a new one, more than likely from 50 Resto or LMR.com. Oh, that's actually not too bad. Oh, then I lied. Spoke too soon. Oh my goodness, that is gross. Yeah, look at that. That is why we're doing this. So we're gonna fill this up with the garden hose, shake it all around, and try and get this as clean as possible. When you're doing this, make sure you keep water out of the sensor connection. Shake it up like a bartender at your favorite Tokyo pub. I call this agua rust-oleum. I'll pour it over 90% ice and charge you 40 bucks.
Dare you to drink it.
My fiance is trying to kill me.
Collect on that life insurance.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's staying in the video. You got the solid chunks out of the bottom at least. So for this car, when the low coolant light goes on, you can actually see if I can shake it, you can actually see the sensor down at the bottom. Okay, we're gonna rinse this out probably 2 or 3 more times. Unfortunately, I don't have any pipe cleaners or anything to get down in here. At some point before our road trip, which is a video series coming up in April, it is now November, but at some point I'm gonna replace this with a brand new one. But for today, it'll suffice. So the mounting points for this over expansion tank are gonna be right here and right here. And then it also has 2 tabs, and the tabs slide in right here. All right, you're looking up from the bottom of the car. As you can see, the 2 tabs slide into these 2 notches right here. Now we're gonna go ahead and put the bolts back in, just like how we took them out. Now, gotta put in the second bolt. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do is reconnect this hose to the radiator. Unfortunately, my fingers are kind of in the way, but you want to just try and ease this hose up over this nipple right here. I'll put a circle around it. Oh, that went on a lot easier than it coming off. All right, the next thing we're gonna do is reconnect the low coolant sensor. Just slide that in. Be gentle with it, because again, like most Fox bodies, this is going to be 30-plus-year-old plastic. All right, that's all set. Now we're good to go ahead and fill the radiator back up with coolant. The next thing we're gonna do is set up the radiator. Now, I actually bought this OEM Tools coolant funnel, and it comes with a couple attachments. I'll show you how to use this thing. For this radiator, it's an A-type cap. You're gonna take the corresponding A-type adapter, slide that in, slide on the cap. And because on this radiator, the radiator cap is actually at an angle, you're gonna use one of these 2 adapters. Now, it's not exactly straight up and down, but that's fine. The big thing is making sure that your coolant is at the highest point of the engine. That way, if there's any air in the system, the air is gonna go up and bubble out in this funnel. Remove the plunger, we can start adding our coolant. So we're gonna fill up the funnel. And then if it stops going down, we're gonna go ahead and turn the car on get the water pump going. Make sure there's still fluid in the system. Starting the car will get the rest of the coolant running through the system. Now, ideally, we have a bucket with quart lines on it so you can tell exactly how much you've taken out, because there's no way with the bucket that I've taken out 14.1 quarts. What's that? All right, at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and start the engine and get that water pump going. Once you're in the car, keep an eye on the temperature gauge. That's what my lovely fiance is doing. And we're gonna crank the heat to get that coolant running through the heater core. Good. Hold it at 1500. The big thing when doing this is to not let the coolant get to empty. Otherwise, there's gonna be air sucked into the system. Once the radiator is full, you're going to go ahead and put some coolant into the expansion tank. All right, coolant is up to the cold line in the expansion tank. We're going to remove this, put the radiator cap back on, and start the car up and do a test run. All right, so you want to make sure you keep an eye on your temperature gauge. In the event that it goes above what's supposed to be, turn the car off immediately. We've been running the car at about 2,000 RPM for about 5 minutes now, and it's holding steady, so I think we're good. Look at that nastiness. All right, next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna empty this into one of the empty containers and take it to either the recycling center or your local auto parts store. Oh my gosh, look at all that physical crud. Oh my God, that's so gross.
Eat it.
Let's not. It's like a freaking nasty, rusty chocolate shake. Like, comment, subscribe for more second gear smiles. All right, so we're pretty much done with cleanup. I'm gonna get the car off of ramps and we're gonna go for a test drive. All right, now we're gonna go, we got some groceries we gotta run, so right down the road, and that's a perfect time to do a test drive. Make sure that it is not overheating. Keep thinking I'm in the Land Cruiser. I keep doing this. All right, it's holding steady at the second notch, so that's good. It got up to temp pretty quick, which we had the engine running at 2,000 RPM for a little while right before we went to the recycling center. Gonna get some peppers from Giant Supermarket. Hopefully my Mustang does not overheat. Hopefully there's no air bubbles in the cooling system. Yeah. No, yeah, the heat's been holding steady. Oh, this guy is about to reverse. Well, car didn't overheat, so that's a win. All right, guys, thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. I really appreciate it. If you found this video helpful, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe for more cars that make you smile. Thanks, bye. You saw the black oil, the black brake fluid.
Yeah.
I am surprised at how well this car is running, all things considered.
That you were using it as a daily for like almost a month.
Yeah. Are you warming yourself over the engine?
Yes.
Subscribe for more cars that make you smile here at Second Gear Smiles. This channel might be paying our bills one day.
That means I can laugh at it.
Yes.